Goddamn computers. Hey everybody, what's going on? Eric here, and yeah, I got a 450 watt power supply over here taken apart because the fans went to shit on it. And I thought I had the right size fans, and I don't, so can't replace it. Now I could run this with one fan instead of having two fans, but chances are you're going to overheat your power supply and cause problems with the computer, possibly shutting down. And looking at the diodes over here on the board next to the two large capacitors, this thing was starting to get a little hot anyways. So what can you do? Just replace it. Went out, got another one, and just swapped them out. Not a big deal. And yeah, fucking computers, man. Pain in my ass. So I want to get back into the Epiphone and work on its nut. So let me get this shit out of here. Alright, so let's get this nut worked down over here. It is it's not set up properly. It's kind of a little bit higher than I want it to be, so I want to readjust it. So I've already taken my shims. I have a 19 and a 22 thousandths here, so I put my rocker on top of the frets over here and go ahead and slide this underneath there. Make sure there's no wobble, it's not loose, and that's what the size I'm looking for. So I want a 18 thousandths action height at the first fret. So along with the 22 and the 19, I'm going to add an 18 with it. So that's going to give me my action height at the first fret. So if I go ahead and take my first nut file, since there's 10s on here, I'm going with the 10s. So if I take my first nut file, put this right here up against the fret, or the nut, and kind of go into it, I'm hitting that nut. So it's not where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and file this down to where I need to be. You can hear it scraping, and that's about where it's got to be. So at the same time, I'm also going with the angle towards the peg head. So next one, 36. Same thing, make sure this is nice and flat on top of the fretboard. And go ahead and start shaping this thing until it starts scraping. Just like that. These get some buildup in them, and they're not very easy to work with. There you go. Alright, next. Remember, lay this down, make sure it's nice and flat. And I'm hitting. Make sure you're not changing the angle going towards the peg head. Alright. Three more to go. Make sure this is on there real nice and tight. All right. Next one. There. Last one. Now this nut is not plastic that's on here. It's supposed to be a bone nut, so it feels like it's a bone nut. Now make sure you're not going to hit the finish. That's that. Pressed air. Alright, so now the next thing that I got to do with this is I got to shape this nut a little bit, because I know for a fact that these strings are going to be sitting way too deep, yep, in that nut. So I'm going to have to shape the nut. This is where I'm going to add a little bit of masking tape to the neck, hold it headstock, and a little bit of masking tape to the fretboard. And get my file out. And start giving this thing, knocking this down a little bit. Now you want to follow the nut as far as all the angle goes and the curve. Alright, that's where I want it. Let's get some sandpaper. Piece of 800 grit here. Polish the top of this nut. And a piece of 1500. And I'm going to take some rubbing compound. Just a little bit. Smear it into the rag. And polish it. Make that nice and smooth. Shape the grooves. Get whatever rubbing compound got in the grooves out of there. Alright, so that nut is done. And start stringing her up. Alright, so I got a little bit of a jump start on stringing this thing up. I love these locking Goto tuners. Now I know there was a lot of people who, or a few people who've asked, where did I get these, where you can get them from. These I got along with another set of Goto tuners for bass. They came with that big lump sum of parts that I ordered, that I got off of eBay. Somebody was selling their luthier tools and parts, and these were kind of in there. There was no part number on these tuners that I can reference off of to let you guys know what's the size and everything of them are. They did come from StuMac though, as far as what the guy ordered or how he ordered them. Again, I don't have a part number or anything else to give you for you guys. Kind of sucks, but sorry. So what I'm doing here is going through the tailpiece, up and over the bridge, making sure the string is inside of its saddle, because these saddles are a little bit goofy. And I go ahead and run the string through without scratching the finish. Make sure I'm still on that saddle. Kind of pull them a little bit and then lock them down. That's kind of it. That's basically all you do with them. Bend them up a little bit, and then I'll go back over here and check to see where my spacing is. And right over that pole piece, so that's okay. Go to the next string and kind of just do the same thing. It's kind of nice. These you're not going to do any like major wraps around the post. Yeah, they're kind of nice. So this is kind of like a rinse and repeat every time you do this. Now this one here, this one I'm going to have to adjust a little bit. Go center over the pole piece, and then after I'll measure like I did the first three and see where exactly I am. Alright, next one. Now these do not tighten up when you start putting tension on the string. They don't automatically kind of lock themselves in, so you do have to turn that that screw that's on the bottom of the tuner. I tell you, it's a lot faster and a lot easier doing it this way. Let me check to see where I'm at with this one on the pole piece. It looks good, and then I got to check to see where I'm at on the edge of the fretboard with that string. Make sure I'm not over one side too much. No, I'm good. Tighten this puppy up. Pull him up a little bit. And then I can start tuning it now. First things first. See where I'm at with these strings. I'm gonna open you bastard. Make sure this is zeroed out. And let's see where I'm at here. I'm going to go to the inside of the strings. And I am pretty much equal all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and start tuning this thing up. Guitar is in tune, strings have been stretched, retuned again, got my capo on the first fret, 12 thousandths feeler gauge, and my 4mm Allen key. So what's next? Let's check out what I got for relief. Looks like I got too much relief. Let's go ahead and turn this. See what I got now. Now remember, the relief is going to change your action height. Add a little bit to it now. Turned it too much. Now this has got a two-way truss rod in it, so I like that for now. Tune it back up again because that's going to change the tuning on it a little bit. Alright, so let's see what I got for action height now. Drop that down a little bit. We'll drop this side down a lot. Alright, so how easy are these guys to turn without having to remove or change the string tension? Yeah, I'm going to have to. Alright, so action height is set. I have it set up at a 1/16 on the high side. Actually, it is, oh, wrong side. Yeah, 1/16 on the high side and a little less than 5/64, right in between 5/64 and a little bit higher than a 1/16 on the low side. So now it's time to set the intonation. So go ahead and check the tuning. Sounds good. A little bit off. Alright, so I got the intonation done. It was a little bit off. I mean, each one of the saddles had to basically go back quite a bit. What's next? What's next? Oh, I checked the height on the back of the bridge. So what I'm going to do with this is, right now the tail stop is all the way down, and oh shit, hell, there's plenty of room. Plenty of room back here. There's none of these strings are touching at all the back of the bridge. I'm basically right up against the saddles. So, and tail stop is all the way down. No buzz? No buzz. Let's go ahead and check the pickup height now. And let's do the bass side first. Get my Phillips over here. Oh yeah, real close. I can live with that. Yeah, still a little bit more. And with that, get the treble side. I can live with that. It's got to go up. A little bit more. Okay, good. Measure twice, cut once. That's fine. Relief right now. Now that should have changed. That's good. Action height, still where I left it. Alright, so other than my grubby fingerprints, just put the truss rod cover. Actually, I'm going to wait for the truss rod cover to go back on it. I'm going to go ahead and let this thing kind of do its own stretching here and there. Haven't had strings on it for quite a while now. So I want to get this thing to do what it's going to do. And then check everything again. Make sure everything is still the same way. I like this bridge. It's not bad at all. You can get into it with a needle nose pliers to adjust the action height. Otherwise, you have to loosen up the strings in order to do it by hand, which some guitars you have to do that anyways. I love these tuners, these Goto locking tuners. These are really nice. And again, I'm sorry I don't have a link for you guys on it. So yeah, so how much do you think it's worth? I know brand new, this thing is supposed to be like 600 bucks brand new. And by the way this thing looks, as far as everything on it, there's not a chip, dent, scratch, anything on it. Yeah, so I wonder what somebody would pay for something like this. 300 bucks? Maybe a little bit more? Who knows? But it is a purdy guitar, that's for sure. Love this green. Love the way this flame maple veneer looks. And the inlays on the neck and on the headstock as well. Matches it really good is the binding throughout. The neck, headstock, body, cream colored pickup rings, cream colored switch. It's got the gold speed knobs with the arrows on them, push and pull. So you got a coil tapping here, or not coil tapping. You have a neck pickup tone bleed, and then you have your push and pull here for splitting your coils. Not bad, not bad at all. All right, so again, I'm going to let this thing sit a little bit before I do anything to it, because I want to make sure that you know, after I put the truss rod cover, I don't have to go back in there again after I put that on. So I'm going to put some of these tools away. I don't need them anymore. I'm going to hold on to these Grover tuners. Unless there's anybody out there who needs a set of Grovers, they're 3-in-3 for basically Les Paul style headstocks. And yeah, I got a set of gold ones too. Gold ones are real dirty as far as being dusty goes. But I got everything for them. Anybody needs any tuners, let me know. And yeah, I'll catch up with all y'all later.